In this lesson, I'm going to cover tabs. Now, the first thing you need to know is, much like a bus stop, there are predetermined tab stops, and they're placed right underneath the ruler here. On that topic, if you can't see your ruler, just turn it on with this button. So this button here turns it off and turns it on. Now, right underneath 0.5, 1, 1.5 are your tab stops. They're preset at every half inch. So as you hit your tab key, it automatically goes to the next half inch. That's where they were set. Now I'm just going to hit backspace to get rid of those tabs. If you wish to, you can charter a bus and have it stop wherever you want. Now, the reason I use the bus analogy is because it just fits. A bus stop is a lot like a tab stop. They're either predetermined or you can override them. So if I click underneath one of these numbers, I will replace all of the tabs that precede that tab with whatever I put here. So I'm going to click underneath the number 3, and all of these tabs are now gone. And now the first time I hit my tab key, I will go all the way to number 3. And with my show hide on here, I could see the arrow, which is the symbol for the fact that you've hit tab in order to get to this area here. Now, having said that, there are different tabs, and they're here. Now, these simply, this is like a toggle button, and whichever one happens to be on, that's the kind of tab that you're going to get. So if I were to set a tab now, I would get a center tab. Okay, so if I want to get rid of a tab, I get rid of it by clicking and dragging it off, and now it's gone. Right. So now, if I click underneath the number 3, I will now get a center tab. Now, let me explain what a left tab does. This little symbol here is not an L. It's simply telling you that you will stop wherever the line is. Wherever you've clicked is where you will start, and the text will go in that direction. So the text here will go in that direction. There should almost be a little arrow at the end of that instead, which is why when I tab here, the text goes after. It goes that way. However, if I were to ask for a right tab and click here, according to my symbol here, the text should go that way, and indeed it does. So it starts again where the vertical line is, and it goes in the direction of the horizontal line. So that's why these images look the way they do. And the center tab, of course, will start in the middle, and the text will go both ways. If I set a tab here, the text starts in the middle, and it goes equally to the left and to the right. So there should really be little arrows at the end of these, and that would be more accurate as far as what the symbol, what the tab will actually do once you've used it. Now, on the topic of the right tab and the center tab, really, the right tab's only job in life is to allow you to have text on the right and text on the left of the same line. So if I wanted sandwich and salad to be on the same line, but I wanted sandwich to be on the left here, and I wanted salad to be on the right, if I right align, they both go right align. If I hit right left align, they both go there. And hitting your space bar a bunch of times is just a terrible error. So what you would do is you would ask for a right tab, and you would place it as far to the right as you possibly can. Now, one of the problems is you can't click inside the right indent, but you can click underneath here and drag your right tab right into that triangle, which is where you probably would want to go. And then when you hit tab, you get a nice right tab which starts here and goes this way. All right, and the beauty of this is I can add to the word salad, and the text, rather than falling off onto the next paragraph, is going to the left. And even if I change the font here to bigger, again, it's contained, so it's not falling off. So that is the fastest, easiest way to have two things on the same line. I'm going to push this one step further. Sometimes when you have a newsletter, you'll want 3 things on the same line. One on the left, one in the middle, and one on the right. So here for this paragraph, I'm going to want a right tab again. I'm going to want a right tab right there. And then I'm going to try to determine where's the halfway point here. So I got 6.5, so it'd be 3.2. So I'm going to put a center tab at about 3.2, right about here. So now when I tab once, all of this will stop at the center tab, and then when I tab over again, all of this is now to the right. So that gives me a nice, neat situation where I've got something on the left, something in the middle, and something all the way to the right. That is the right way of doing that. Now, if you want to find out where your tab settings are for this paragraph, you can always go to paragraph and go to tabs ... Okay, and now it's telling you that you've got a tab at 3.25 and you've got one at 6.5. So if you want to see your tab menu, you can come here. I'm going to get back to this menu. I've set up a situation here where I'm just going to undo to get back to where we were. Okay, so here I've got lunch specials, and then I've got hamburger, I've got hot dog, I've got different items. Okay, what I want to show you are different types of tabs that you can set up now. So I'm going to go back to that tab menu here. And what I'd like to do is, if I know that I'm going to set a tab for all 4 of these paragraphs, select all 4 of them first. That way you don't have to redo them for every one of them. So now I'm going to come to tabs, and there are different tabs that you can set. So you can set it so that these dots, these lines, or these lines separate the text from the tab. That way people can follow the trail rather nicely. So now I'm going to use these 3 instead. Better example. So I'm going to come back here and go to tabs, and I'm going to say that I want to write tab at 6.5, but I'm going to want a dot tab. Okay, a dot leader they call them. So I'm going to type 6.5 here because I know I want it at the end, and I want a dot, and I want it to be a right tab. So this way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some prices here, and I want to make sure I don't fall off the page. I want the prices to go that way along with my little dots. So I'm going to hit OK here, and now when I hit tab, I'm going all the way to the end, and now I can put my price for my hot dog. So let's say my hot dog is $6.95 or $6.96, and then I'm going to tab for my sandwich, and I'm going to put my sandwich at 7, and I'll be consistent, 96. And then for my steak, I'm going to hit tab again, and my steak is going to be much more expensive. I'm going to put that at $16.96. So here I'm getting a situation where I know that my prices will start this way because they're going that way. They're going to the left, as the symbol indicates. Those are leader tabs, which come in very handy depending on what it is you're trying to accomplish. One last thing I need to mention about tabs is I've already typed all this information in. If I go ahead now and I set a tab at any kind of tab, if I go to set, let's say, a right tab here at the very end, I've only set it for this paragraph. Okay, if I go to hamburger now, it's not set there. If I go to hot dog, it's not set there. If I go to I only set it for one paragraph. So if you've already typed the information in and you want to set tabs for an area, select the entire area and then set your tab. However, conversely, if you're just beginning to type a document and you know that you're going to be using a certain tab throughout, and if you set it, the rule in word processors is that whatever I had in the last paragraph, give it to me again in the next paragraph. So as I hit enter now, every new paragraph on this page, on this document, is automatically going to have that tab. As you see, it's not going anywhere. Okay, until I say that I don't want that there, it's going to keep appearing. So if I get rid of it here for this paragraph and I hit enter, the next paragraph is also not going to have it. So it's another one of those make it pretty things. You may want to type everything you have in and then determine which areas you want to use the tabs, select them, set them, and then use them. The other thing that I need to mention about the tabs is I get this error a lot, especially with beginner students, is they'll set the tab and then they'll type the information, and for some reason they think just because they've set a tab that it should jump there automatically. Well, it doesn't. In order to go there, you actually physically have to put your insertion point in front of whatever you want to tab over, and then you have to hit the tab key. Okay? So just don't assume that because you put a tab there that words are magically going to jump there when you want to. You have to hit tab in order to get to where that tab has been set. And another rookie mistake, I guess, is what I would call it, is people confuse centering with center tab. Listen, center tab's only job in life is when you want something left, right, and center, like we had done here. All right. So if you have three things, then you would use center tab. If you just want something centered, that's center's job, right? You just say go in the middle. But if you wanted three things, then that's when you would use center. So you'd have like a right tab here, and then you'd ask for center tab. So don't overuse center tab. Center tab is used sparingly. Not very often are you going to ask for a center tab, but in this situation, you need it. So that covers the basics and the not so basics regarding tabbing. With that information, you should be comfortable with using the tabs. Don't be afraid of them. Sometimes a table is the better thing to use. However, in many cases, a simple tab setting will give you exactly what it is you need.